Let it go, let it go. Oh, apologies. I was just preparing for this next interview, actually. This is with the filmmakers Peter Del Vecchio and Chris Buck, who made Frozen 2. So have we got any fans of Frozen out there? Yes, we have. I know we have. Enjoy this one, guys.
Hi, Ben. This is Peter.
And this is Chris.
Awesome. Well, it's so good to have you. Thank you very much indeed for chatting to us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
You know what? I'm already a little bit obsessed with the Into the Unknown song. I'm going to have to tell you that, guys. Already. It didn't take long. It's just been released today, right? And I'm already obsessed with it. I've heard it about 1 million times. So
Perfect.
Our job is done.
I mean, we're being spoiled. We really are spoiled because we've also got a Panic at the Disco version of that particular song.
Yeah, it's a great one. He just did a great. What I love is that there's Adina's version is fantastic and Panic's version is just as fantastic, but very, very different. So I love them both.
Oh, amazing. Well, audiences are going to get treated to that at the end, I believe, at the end credits, aren't they? So they can look forward to that. But yeah. I'd love to talk a little bit about the story, first of all, guys, if that's okay, that we're going to be following this time. Of course, everyone really, really excited about returning to this world and seeing where the characters are up to, what Elsa and Anna are up to. But I wonder if we could kind of touch on what the story is about this time. I mean, it kind of sounds to me like it's a bit more mature. They're going to be exploring, where they fit in this world. So it's kind of, I've seen you describe it as almost like what happens after the kind of happily ever after story that Frozen kind of was. So I wonder if you could explain a little bit about that.
Well, it is. It is them. Our characters are growing up a little bit. We were inspired by our own, kids at home. Peter and I both have kids who have just graduated college, and and the world is waiting for them. But it's, what are they going to do in the world? What is their path? What is their destiny? What do they have to give the world? And that's what's kind of inspired us with our characters. They're at the same age as our own kids are. So, and it's all about finding what you have to give the world, and the change can be very scary. And like the song Into the Unknown, stepping into the unknown, do you dare? But that's what we love about it. And so they all are on that journey, and Elsa sort of propels it with that song. And she's trying to find out, why does she have these powers?
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. And I understand, guys, as well, that, as part of the kind of creative process, you actually went on a pretty amazing trip to Norway, Finland and Iceland to kind of look at the landscapes, the people, the cultures, and even spoke to botanists and things. That must have been a pretty awesome experience prior to creating the film.
Well, it was an important experience. It was 3 years ago that we ventured there with Chris and Jen, the directors, and Jen's also the writer, and we brought our head of story, and really we walked the forests of Norway and Finland and really felt all the folklore and where these stories came from. You could feel the hidden people. You could feel where these big boulders were in the middle of the forest. You could understand why they thought maybe giants had dropped them there. So, and Anna felt very much at home in this sort of enchanted forest, this fairy tale land. But when we went to Iceland, and the sort of the stark, almost black and white landscape of Iceland, and then the power of nature there between the volcanoes and the ocean and the glaciers, we felt Elsa felt more at home there, and we realized that more mythic landscape, we had two different characters. Elsa being a more mythic character, carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. She has magical powers, and they often meet a tragic fate. But then we had Anna, and the more fairy tale character, and we had those two stories running in parallel. I think that was a big turning point for us in the development of Frozen 2.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really interesting kind of merging, as you say, of two quite different things there, like the fairy tales and the kind of mythic nature of Elsa and her kind of magic powers and almost like a superhero. But on the other hand, obviously you've got Anna, who I suppose at the same time as almost being this fairy tale character, as you say. I don't know what you would think, but also sort of, I suppose, grounds the pair in the film, particularly in Frozen 1. She acts to kind of ground Elsa a bit as well, doesn't she?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think Anna's the one that everybody can relate to. I think Elsa's the one that everybody looks up to. But we all are Anna, where we are that sort of ordinary person, but she's an ordinary hero, which is fantastic. So we look up to Anna too.
Fantastic. Let's talk then a bit more about the music, if that's okay, because of course it is such a played such an amazing role in the first Frozen. You know, everyone absolutely adored it, and you know, I'm sure the same is going to be equally true of Frozen 2. So I think you know, probably one of the moments that people are really looking forward to is the unveiling of that song Into the Unknown in the film. So that must have been an amazing moment to put together for you.
Well, I love it. I mean, working with Bobby and Kristen, I think they've delivered 7 amazing new songs. Into the Unknown is a great launch to the movie. It really Elsa is resisting hearing this voice, but then she makes a decision to go into the unknown, to face the challenges of the movie, and so it's a great launching point. But Anna also has a great song. Elsa has another very powerful song later in the movie. Kristoff gets to sing, Olaf, of course. So there's a lot of great music, all in support of the characters and the story that hopefully people will also be singing for quite some time.
And Kristoff finally has a song, and it is inspired by 80s rock power ballads.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing that. I'm going to have to tell you guys, I'm going to be cruising with it in my car for months to come after I see this film. It's what happened last time, and you've just got to admit it. I think, you know, some people out there, right, claim to say, "Oh no, I don't listen to that." No, of course not. Yes, they do. Check their playlist. You'll find it in their driving playlist.
That's great.
No, I'm really looking forward to it, guys. And I wonder if we could touch just again on the story. I won't give you too much longer now. I am aware of your time, of course. We'll let you go very, very shortly. But coming back to the kind of story, it kind of seems to me like you're kind of stepping away a little bit. And obviously, I don't want you to give away too much here. Of course, so people can go and see the film and really enjoy it for themselves. But you're kind of stepping away a little bit from that kind of classic, I suppose, traditional Disney princess style, you know, happily ever after story. This kind of seems more, and I know we mentioned at the beginning here and kind of alluded to it, but a bit more mature theme, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and it's all in support of the characters. The thing that, you know, we've had screenings with younger kids in it and everything. It's interesting, though, you know, even though we say, you know, the story may be mature and more mature and our characters growing up, the kids, you know, they're looking up to these characters. The kids always look up. They never sort of, you know, they never look down to the younger ones or whatever for inspiration. They always look up. So it's fascinating. The kids they're loving it. They're loving the journeys that the characters are going on, and they're loving the whole roller coaster ride. You know, I was very inspired by Pinocchio when I was a kid, and that definitely is a roller coaster ride of emotions, and sometimes it gets a little more mature, a little darker here and there. But in the end, you know, it all works out. It's a wonderful, happy ending, and sometimes these stories, you know, they're fairy tales, and they can be sort of a teaching tool for kids learning how to cope with some of their fears and the dangers in the world, but doing it in a safe place, like watching a movie. So that's where we go. And that was sort of from Walt's legacy of these great films, and again, keeping that alive.
Oh, well, Peter and Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks, Ben.